This is a quick FreeCAD tutorial on how to make a 3D model with FreeCAD. This is the design we're going to do today. First, start off by saving your space, and you want to save often because FreeCAD locks up sometimes. Next, we'll start off in the part workspace, and we'll make a cylinder. The outside radius of the cylinder is going to be 4 millimeters, and the height is going to be 0.5 millimeter. Alright, that's all set. Next we'll make another cylinder, still in part workspace, and this one will have a height of 0.5 millimeter and a radius of 1.25 millimeters. And it will have an X or Z offset of 0.5 millimeter. Alright, there we got our two cylinders. Now we want to union them together. So we'll select both of the cylinders by holding the control key down, clicking on them, and still in the part workspace, select a union, and that creates a fusion of the two cylinders into one. Now we want to go into the part design and create a sketch, and we'll make the inner diameter that the shaft goes on, and that diameter is 1.5, so we'll make a constraint of 0.75, create a pocket, and it goes all the way through, so we're in good shape. So we'll go back into the workspace, or back into the sketch, and we'll put all of the other features in. So we'll create a construction line out here, or a construction circle, and we'll give it a constraint with 4.5 millimeter, and we'll make another construction circle, and that one will have a 2 millimeter constraint for a radius, and then save it. It fully constrains, and we will start adding some more construction lines in. If the auto constraints are on, it'll like auto tangent it, so we'll shut those off, and we'll set all the constraints up by hand. So we'll set a constraint to the inside, or the origin, and we'll set a constraint to the outside of each one of these circles. Alright, and then we'll keep creating lines every 30 degrees. Construction line, 30 degrees. That first one has a vertical constraint, but all of these will just have a angle is the third constraint, or fourth constraint actually. So a constraint there, constraint to this side of the circle, and a constraint to the ID, and a constraint for the angle in there of 30 degrees. And we'll create that, a construction line, and we'll constraint to there, constraint to the center, constraint to the outside of the other line. Just keep doing this for each of the construction lines every 30 degrees. Set this constraint to 30 degrees. I'm going to zoom ahead here, but I think you get the idea. Just keep setting all these constraints and setting these up as construction lines. So here we go, we're all done. Each got all the constructions lines, and they're all set to 30 degrees. Next we'll add circles. Every other one of these, every 60 degrees has a circle. And each circle will have two constraints, actually three constraints. They'll have a constraint on the construction line, a constraint on the construction circle, and a constraint of the outside diameter. So here we go, we set this one up. And we'll set this one to the circle, or to the line. Oops, I got three. There we go, to the line. Now we're on that, and then the constraint to the circle. Same thing here. Constraint to the line, constraint to the circle. And just keep doing that for all of them. I skipped ahead so you can see, but so we'll set the constraint for the outside diameter of the circle to 0.25, and then we'll select all of these circles, and then we'll use the equal to constraint and make them all equal to each other. Zoom in here by hitting Control plus, and I missed a constraint, so I reset that one. Now we're fully constrained. Come back out and take a look at it. Looks good. We'll go back into sketch mode and we'll start putting these other features in. There might be a faster way to do this, but like using like mirroring or something, but I couldn't figure out how to do it, so I'll keep working on FreeCAD, and if I can figure it out, I'll do another tutorial. But for all these have a constraint on this outside circle, and there's a constraint of 0.25 for it being off circle. I'll make another line, set the constraint to the circle, there we go, and the constraint to the outside circle, and then we'll make these two lines parallel, give them a parallel constraint, there it is, and then set that constraint to the inside circle, and then we'll go in here and we'll snip out these insides. There we go, they're all gone, but now our constraints are off, so we have to reset those. So here we go, we reset these constraints to that circle, and now we're fully constrained. And just keep going around and doing that for each one of them. Kind of takes a long time, it's a hassle, but so draw a line, set a constraint, set a constraint, set the distance as 0.25, and then set that constraint to the little circle, constraint to the little circle, set these parallel to each other, and set that last constraint, and now we're fully constrained. We can go in and clip out these lines, all good, and then we have to reset the constraints because we lose one when we clip the lines. Oh, these 2 points have to be on each other, and there we go, we're fully constrained. And just keep going around doing that for each one, keep saving it. FreeCAD freezes up a lot, and there's quite a few bugs in it, but overall it's really good. Here we're looking pretty good, and yep, we'll go back into my navigation froze up on me here. There we go. Go back into the sketch mode and just finish doing each one of these. I'll probably skip ahead here, but you get the idea. Constraint to the outer circle, constraint to the inner circle, constraint to the little circle, constraint to the center line of 0.25 of a millimeter, parallel constraint, snip out the unused section of the circle, and then reset those last two constraints. It's kind of a sucky procedure, but I've tried to do it with rotating it, just doing one of these and then rotating it around, and it doesn't work right. for some reason I don't get the pocket. The lines show up on the face, but I can't get the pocket. So this is the only way that I was able to get the pocket. So reset these constraints, reset this constraint, and we're fully constrained. Save. And alright, I fast forwarded, so here I am on the last one. And we'll cut those out. There we go. And reset these last two constraints. Grab it here. Select that, constraint to that. Select this one, constraint to there. And we're fully constrained. Alright, so we've got all of that done. We just need the keyway. Let's take a look at it. Froze up here for my navigation. So there we go. Oh, we need the circles and the keyway. Alright, let's do the big circles. Cutouts here, we'll move this over. And these are easy. We'll just do a bunch of circles. We won't even put them on. 6 circles. Just set them out over here somewhere. And then we'll constraint those 2 points. Constraint, point constraint, point constraint, point constraint. Can't zoom in because my screen's froze up again, or my navigation screen. Something about doing pockets makes the navigation freeze up more than. And we'll do the same thing with this one. We'll set this outer diameter or radius to 1.5 millimeters. 1.5, and then we'll make these all equal constraints. So select all of them and equal constraints. Boom, and we're fully constrained. All we have left is the keyway. Zoom in here and we'll make a little square, and we'll make a constraint between that and this little circle here, and then we'll do a constraint for the width and height and center point. And we'll cut all these little lines out. This one has to be deleted because it has a constraint in it. And we'll set that to 0.2, and we'll set the width to 0.36. And we'll set the center point to 0.18. I know there's quicker or better ways to do this, but I'm just doing it the quickest way I can think of. So there's that, and these 2 points have to be connected, and there we go, we're fully constrained. That's all done, and we're all done. Come back out of here and hide that sketch. Oh, I forgot to put this radius in here, so we need to do that. Just go in for a fillet and 0.25, and that's it. It's all done. It's got the fillet. We'll rotate it around here. So that's how you create a 3D object with FreeCAD. Thanks for watching.